Hi, I'm Katie Chen with the Harbingers magazine to bring you coverage of the peace ceremony at the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. It's been 80 years since the age of nuclear warfare started, with an atomic bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, being dropped by the USA on Hiroshima. The peace ceremony is held on August 6 every year to commemorate the victims of the atomic bomb and call for the abolition of nuclear weapons. The ceremony will include a moment of silence at 8:15 local time, when the atomic bomb was dropped, the ringing of the peace bell, and the delivery of the peace declaration by the mayor of Hiroshima. Thousands of people attend this ceremony, including foreign officials from over 100 countries. This year, it is especially important with the growing instability across the world with the ongoing war in Ukraine and the Middle East.
I'm from Tokyo.
How has your experience been so far with the ceremony?
Wow, I couldn't imagine so many people, especially I stayed last night. There's the cities of so many foreign people, many tourists from all over the world. That's amazing.
Japan it's really hot, so and everyone will stand in a hot sunshine over there. So I thought I should pass some wet and really cold towels to everyone, so everyone will be cold and see. Yeah.
I think it's important, very important for us to meet with Japanese people, to meet with Japanese ibakusha, and that reinforces our need, our conviction to continue the struggle against nuclear weapons.
内閣総理大臣をはじめ、ご来賓各位、いかがですか。内閣総理大臣。
同じ過ちを繰り返さないために多くの人が事実を知る必要があります。
I think it was especially touching to hear the children sing and to see the Japanese people that are here today and how they are reacting. When we've spoken to other Japanese people here today, they really do find it extremely difficult to talk about the topic, and I think that's been really touching to me because you really see how it affects the people.
I feel very impressive when I see all the Japanese people. Everything was quiet during an hour, so for French people it's a bit unusual, and it was very impressive for me.
In media in general, the Hiroshima bombing have not been that well represented, at least from where I've grown up. Sometimes history is lost in culture and development, and you can really see that the education of how we learn about history really affects us. I haven't had the history lessons that I needed about Hiroshima, and how coming here and going to the museum really has impacted how I now view it and how I view the importance of it.
Yeah, it is really important. It's really famous in Hiroshima, and some junior high school from other country are here and then volunteer so yeah.
Hi, my name is Reva, and we are here before the special testimony from an A-bomb survivor.
That means in the heaven right now, your parents, your sisters and brothers are now sitting by the Buddha. My family died and we are now orphans. Yes, many children became orphans.
I'm here with Peter Cordes, here to share more about his purpose here.
I live here in Hiroshima, and I've been here for 9.5 years. So every year in Hiroshima, I like to go down to the protest that begins at the A-bomb dome and marches, kind of down through the Heiwa Odori Peace Boulevard. There are many traditions here in Hiroshima as to what to do on August 6th to remember the bombing. And for me, I prefer going and standing alongside other people who are interested in protesting against nuclear war or nuclear weapons and war, and people who are aware of the different conflicts and struggles that are happening around the world and the relevance of Hiroshima's peace message to those conflicts, rather than like sitting quietly in the Peace Park and listening to like politicians say what they think peace is about. That's not really my jam. But I became involved with Hiroshima Interpreters for Peace when I first moved here because I was looking for like a peace group to be involved with, and coming from that background in the States as well, going to a lot of peace protests. And here the A-bomb survivor community and the peace community are the same thing. There's like no separation between them, which is awesome. So I got involved that way. One of the most important things, I think, is never underestimate what young people can accomplish. Hopefully many people who are watching this are familiar with Sadako Sasaki. She was the 12-year-old girl. She survived the atomic bombing at age 2 and then died of leukemia 10 years later, folding 1,000 paper cranes on her hospital bed as she succumbed to leukemia. And her friends from her school basically carried her message of peace, wanted to build a monument in her honor, and they rallied and began organizing. And not only did they build one of the most important monuments here in Hiroshima, the Genbaku no Konozo, the Children's Peace Monument, they also propelled the paper crane to an international symbol of peace and began an international peace movement, and specifically a children's peace movement here in Japan that went strong for decades. Never underestimate what you can accomplish. There are still 12,000 nuclear warheads in the world, which is 12,000 too many. And the world is yours to inherit, and I'm really sorry that the adults that are here haven't managed to make it a better place yet. So please help. Please help us make it better.
I'm Lucas Abramavicius, and this is Harbinger's magazine coverage of Hiroshima's commemorations of the 80th anniversary of atomic bombings. It's 7:30 in the evening, and behind me you can see the A-Dome, a building that was preserved because the warhead exploded exactly above it. The bomb, nicknamed Little Boy by the US Army, killed 140,000 people. On that day in 1945, Hiroshima became the first city in history to suffer a nuclear explosion. 8 decades later, the scars remain, but so does the city's unwavering message of peace. With me are my colleagues, Daniel Zhang and Jennifer Young-Koch, who spoke to the people who came here to see the famous lantern ceremony. Daniel, off to you.
Thank you, Lucas. I'm here with Arnold Fiore and Luis Hermano, both from Brazil, and we're going to ask them a couple questions about why they're here and what they think of the commemoration. So, what brought you guys here, and what do you think of it so far?
Yeah, initially we came to celebrate my friend's birthday, and eventually there is this lovely party going on, and not party, but this wonderful celebration going on, and then we put together 2 celebrations.
So then, did you guys just come across this event by chance, or did you plan to come here beforehand?
No, we knew well that this event was going to happen.
Well, then why would you think like such an event around like peace and resilience and such like ideas be like important in today's world?
That's what's actually, this is what the entire world needs at most at this very moment, so inevitable.
Would you say like event like this and the event this morning, do you think they're doing a good job, or at least like trying to do a good job of committing to that sort of message of peace and like no war? Or what do you think is like the effectiveness of such a?
I think it's an outstanding effect, and then especially to see the people who survived and the whole community, the whole Japanese way of dealing with it is really outstanding. It's great.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. And next, I'll have Jennifer talk to some other people about their experiences at this commemoration.
And with me is Stash Butler, a British journalist working for Australian TV station. What do you think the world can take away from today's event?
Well, I think, first of all, it was incredibly solemn, and I think anyone watching the event today would be incredibly moved, I think, by watching the hibakusha laying the wreaths at the ceremony. I think was incredibly moving. I think the moment of silence, just so many points of it, I think would touch anyone watching it. And I think it is the kind of event that, for good reason, inspires anti-nuclear activists to come here from around the world to really be at the center of an event like this, something that marks such a poignant moment in human history.
Yeah, I agree. What's the significance of this event to the media?
Well, I mean, firstly, 80 years is a big number. I mean, it's a huge anniversary to mark something like this, such a huge and colossal event. So naturally, this is something that I was looking at as a journalist when planning, looking ahead to see this happening. So I think it's no surprise that we've seen so many international outlets, obviously on top of all the many Japanese outlets that were here as well, here, traveling all the way to cover this event. So when I suggested this to my boss, he was certainly, very keen for us to go for it. So I think that is a testament to just how significant an event this is.
Thank you so much for your time. Now I'm going to hand it over to Elias.
This was Harbinger's coverage of the 80th anniversary of the Hiroshima bombing, where we have attended the peace ceremony this morning and now the floating lanterns this evening. The floating lantern tradition is said to have begun when families who had lost people to the bombings came together and floated handmade lanterns down the river. And now has been opened to the public, where tourists from Japan and abroad travel to Hiroshima to see this spectacle. Everyone is invited to write their message on a paper lantern to be sent down the river. This brings this special day to an end, and tomorrow we head to Nagasaki ahead of the anniversary celebrations over there. Thanks for watching.